Hey, Barbara, tell us your snake story.
Which one?
Yeah, which one? That's right.
Man, Jerry Barbara slept
in the
with
bathroom.
He's wanting a good snake
he
story
shot.
for Furlough. Oh, I can tell you 2 or 3 for you.
Go ahead. Tell us.
But a lot of these people have heard them so many times.
I haven't heard it.
Tell it again.
It is.
Come on, you can just add a little bit to it.
Really fix it up, huh? Well, we used 2 or 3. I'll let Jerry tell the one he tells for the reputation first. Run in the bedroom. Has a good
Reputation.
story.
But not for recruiting. You tell that for deputation, but not recruiting.
Not at
Well,
MOC.
one night, Barbara and the kids had all gone to bed, and I had turned off the generator. The lights were out, so I was reading by candlelight. And in our bedroom, we had a hall outside the bedroom that came through our son's room, and from the outside door, and then on into our bedroom. And I heard this rustling sound through Mark's room and into the door. Looked down, and there was a cobra crawling into our bedroom. And I shouted at Barbara, "Barbara, there's a cobra in our room." And I was throwing my shoes and my book and everything I had in my hand around there at that snake. And when I yelled at her, she jerked the covers up over her head and said, "I'm praying for you." I needed someone who could fight snakes, and I had a prayer partner.
He uses that at home when we go home. He said, you know, we need some co-laborers, not just prayer partners. The thing is, he doesn't tell the end that we never found that snake.
The snake crawled into the hall and crawled under a wardrobe, and we couldn't find it that night, so we stuffed up the holes under that wardrobe, went back to bed, and the next morning we put some Gamma-Tox in there to kill the snake, and never found the snake. It got out into the house someplace, we don't know where.
What is Gamma-Tox?
Gamma-Tox is a poison that will kill anything. Literally.
Huh. Never heard of it.
It's for termites.
Somebody's cake just got ice cream.
What's that?
I picked this up that I'm milking it now. It went right into somebody's cake.
Another time we had a snake in the bathroom. Jerry was remodeling our bathroom and moving the sink and the commode into another area. And it was getting kind of late in the afternoon. And so somebody came to the door, and he went to talk to them, and he got to talking to them. And it came supper time. We invited him to eat with us, and so we started to sit down to eat. And I said, "Mark, go wash your hands." And he went in to wash his hands, and all of a sudden we heard this scream. And I went running in there, and there he stood, just frozen. No, he came to me. He came running to me, and he just grabbed me, just white as everything, just shaking all over. I said, "Jerry, there's a snake in the bathroom." So Jerry, you know, thought just a little snake like this or something was in the bathroom. So he goes and he opens the door and he slams it between. He said, "Sure enough, there's a snake in there."
Mark said there's a big snake in the bathroom. And I said, there is a big snake.
Anyway, there was one about, what, 6, 7 feet
It was
at
6
least.
feet. You could hold it at your waist on a broomstick, and both head and tail would touch the floor. It was a big spitting cobra.
How'd you kill it?
Yeah. Well, since it was in the bathroom, we couldn't open the door. We went outside and threw hot water through the window. We had a hot water geyser, a Rhodesian boiler outside. So we threw hot water through the window at the snake, and he crawled out of the lavatory where he was sitting, crawled over behind the commode, and I was going to shoot him with a shotgun, but I would have blown the commode into Kiki's room next door with the snake. One of our neighbors blew one through a closet into another room with a shotgun. But anyway, I couldn't get him there, so I drove him over behind the commode with hot water. And then we threw more water through the window over at the commode. He finally crawled down on the floor under the lavatory, and I got a .22 rifle and shot at him, and shot into the floor right in front of him and splattered him with the lead, and just rolled him up against the side. So we got him and pulled him out of there, but the smell in that bathroom was like dead fish for weeks and weeks and weeks after that. We finally had to paint it to even cover up the smell. But this was one of those 6 foot, not a banded cobra, but one, the Mozambique spitting cobra type that's got the stripes on his neck.
Is that the Egyptian cobra?
No, the Egyptian cobra has gray bands around the body of it. This one has these dark stripes on the underside of the neck. This one's already killed a dog and a cat of ours. That had been killed just shortly before that.
That one makes another good story. You know, we tell the kids at camps and all about that snake. And we say, how many of you kids can go in there and use the bathroom while that snake is in there? Of course, none of them, no, not me, not me. And then we go on to say, you know, well, that's the way our lives are. We've got sin in our lives, and God can't use us either. You know, so it makes stories.
I prefer the one about the prayer part.
We told one about a little boy that got a snake up his britches leg. He was lying under a tree, sleeping. But this is one of Bud Frey's stories, so it happened while he was out there. But he was sitting there on the tree with his hands behind his head and his feet stuck out. All he was wearing was these little shorts. And this snake crawled in between his legs and snuggled up against the inside of his leg.
Oh, no.
And he looked down and saw that cobra there. And so he didn't know what to do. He just sat there. And he's supposed to be herding cattle, and his friend Craig came across the hill. It was getting late in the afternoon, and yelled at him, said, "Ooh-yay!" He just shook his head a little bit and looked at him and said, "Well, come on, we've got to go home." And he didn't move. He just stayed there. So his friend was getting upset with him. He came running across the hill and came up close to where he was, and he saw him looking down like this. And finally, the friend saw the snake. And he knew it was a cobra, and you know what a friend would do if he'd see a snake like that up his good friend's britches leg. He ran. He ran home. But he went home and got his dad, and he came back with him and brought his knob carry, and he got up real close and sneaked up close to that snake and grabbed it by the tail and jerked it out and beat it to death. But it makes a good deputation type story.
Yeah, that's got a lot of good ammunition, Charlotte. Boy, I'm telling you.
One day, the man that worked in our yard was pulling grass around the trees and everything, and he was just pulling like this, and all of a sudden he came out and it just froze. He had 3 little cobras in his hand, just like that.
They just hatched. You know
just
how they
like
look
that,
when they're
and
small?
He just froze. His eyes just got like that.
You don't think that this would be much, if we'd be lying very much if we made all these first-person stories? A lot of preachers do that. Wouldn't that be legitimate?
See, Linda, you can be grateful for your bedrooms being upstairs now.
You don't think that they can't climb those stairs?
Well, they have a hard time since those stairs are open.
Only the hook snakes can climb.
And vine snakes,
Oh, the vine
and
snakes.
green mambas, and boomslangs.
I was thinking of the ones that climb up steps that are like this.
There where y'all
You know
are,
the-
the only snake I ever remember us really that even came near to frightening us was one that got in between the screen and that front door.
That's the little cobra about this
Yeah.
long.
And one of the little kids, the Langleys, Anthony and Jonathan were coming up there. And they opened the door and it was there, screen.
But
This is a blind snake. And he's blind.